Howdy, I'm Ashley Maverick. A few things about myself is that in my current job, I work with mentoring and leading a group, and I really have become very passionate about that and about helping the other partners grow and learn. I also absolutely love being creative. I love making music, writing, basically anything I can get my hands on and create. I love doing that. I applied to this job because I love learning. I love helping others learn, learning myself, and I really wanted to get the chance to experience the professional side of the collegiate atmosphere that I have grown to love so much. I also just love this school and the program that I would be working with. I did a lot of research into it, and I've seen how it has helped people to grow so much in their careers and help them jumpstart from nothing to success, and that's really something I'm very passionate about. My current job is working at HEB, and it's something that I can kind of leave anytime that I want in a way. I've I need to give them 2 weeks notice. I would hope to stay there for a while though, until I can really find a full-time position. I'll take a leave of absence for this job though, so I will only be working for you. Um, but yeah, it's something I plan to work on till I'm really finished with school. The education that I have is an associate's in education and a bachelor's in multidisciplinary studies with a focus in English and theater. Now, both of these are actually still being worked on. I'll be getting them simultaneously this April and May. So at the end of this upcoming semester, I'll have both of those. I am planning on applying to go to grad school, so I'll be getting a master's, and hopefully from there I can also work on a doctorate. So that kind of goes into my 5-year plan. In the next 5 years, I want to be working on those higher education degrees. So some of my previous work experiences, I worked actually leading a childcare. This taught me a lot about organization and also about flexibility. If you've ever worked with kids, had nieces or nephews or kids of your own, it takes a lot of flexibility. Being willing to say, well, we were going to do this, but now we're going to do something completely opposite from that. And what can we do and how can I make it happen? It's very quick, changing things on the go. So I learned a lot from that. I currently work at HEB, and my job is to work in every department of the store. I've worked in pharmacy, I've worked in receiving, I've worked in the bakery, in the deli, in cosmetics, in GM, in groceries, and as a cashier. I've worked everywhere. I've even worked as a manager of the store. So I've learned lots from that. But one thing that really sticks out to me is that everything has a unique importance. Whether you are mopping the floor or baking bread or receiving products, there's something that you're doing that has importance that reaches throughout the store. I see how what I do in one department can affect something in a completely different department and vice versa. So, it's taught me to be very diligent in my work and mindful of others and of everyone's importance, because everyone who's there, who's working, has a significance to the store overall. And I think that idea translates to really any work experience. You should hire me because I'm a very competitive person. Now, this may sound odd, but in a way, competitivism has always been an issue for me. I didn't really like doing sports growing up because if I lost, I would be just so mad. And I never liked doing video games because it would frustrate me. I'm just not very good at video games, and then I was always losing. But as I've grown older, it's helped me in all my work experiences and in my schooling experience to be able, with maturity, to shape that into what can I do to be the best. It's not so much about being better than other people anymore. It's just trying to be the best I can be. So how can I be the best worker that I can possibly be? What can I do to be the most productive that I can possibly be? And that's how it's morphed into a really positive thing that makes me one of the best hires you can get, because not everyone is always working on self-improvement, but that's something that I'm always working at in every area of my life. I'm trying to become better and better in every way possible. Some of my strengths are that I am pretty good at communication. When my boss at work, he once joked that, if he ever had a difficult email to send, he should call me up to write it for him, because I've had some people send me some pretty nasty emails, and I just have been able to respond very eloquently. And I'm also very good. I've learned a lot working with, a bunch of departments and trying to schedule for all of them at the same time. I've learned how to talk to department managers, how different people work, and how to kind of get used to that and make it so that everyone feels like they're getting the best out of the situation. I'm also an opportunist. This is kind of part of an HEB vocabulary. They talk about, what's an opportunity? What's something that can be made better? This kind of goes into my self-motivation. I motivate myself, and so I look to, in a way, motivate the things around me. Can I be picking up trash? Can I be, making this process slightly easier? What can I be doing to make the things around me better? What opportunities lie around me that I can take hold of? I took the opportunity to help create a scheduling team for my department when it was just one assistant store director who had a bunch of other responsibilities. So that's something that I do that really brings a lot to a work environment. One weakness is that I am honest to a fault. Honesty is great, but sometimes I don't have the best judgment in my honesty, and I can say things that are a little too personal at the wrong time. And so it's something I've been working at, and I've definitely been getting better at. But at times if someone asks how my day is going, I might just tell them, my nephew's in the ICU and I'm really stressed out and blah, 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 everything in my life that they don't need to know. Instead of just saying, well, it's been kind of a tough day, but, what do we need to do to get our tasks for the day done? Instead of just sharing a little bit and moving past it, sometimes I get stuck. But that's something I've been working on. One of my biggest achievements in life is actually school. When I was growing up, I was homeschooled, so while I did go to classes with other kids, it wasn't really the same as a normal schooling environment. So I didn't have the opportunity to succeed, not in the ways that are possible with college. So when I started going to college, then I started seeing I can get scholarships and I can, get in the honors society and all of these different things. So I worked really hard from the get-go. And I've built a very successful GPA, a transcript, everything. I have scholarships that are all merit-based, and I've just done a lot to be successful at school, and I've really seen that hard work pay off. I've had a good number of bosses, and I can't say they've all been great, but I've learned from that what makes it difficult to work with someone. I think the two biggest things are respect and trust. If you can have a respectful relationship where, you're seeing we're both professional and we both, know what we're doing, we're respecting each other, but we're also trusting each other. There's a little bit of camaraderie there as well. Really, I haven't ever had anyone in a work situation where it was so bad that I couldn't work with them. I've never been able to not really get along with someone, but I do think that if you're working very closely with someone, it's important to try and build those aspects of respect and trust. When I motivate other people, I look at the 5 love languages. It's something you may or may not have heard of, but it's things like gifts, serving others, and quality time. It's things that people can receive and give love by. If someone receives love best by getting gifts, then that's something that's going to motivate them. It's going to show them that their work is appreciated. And I really think that showing people they're appreciated helps them to then continue succeeding. They're seeing what I'm doing is important, so they want to keep doing that. I motivate myself through my friends and my family, and as well as competition I've mentioned before, but beyond that, I have a huge family. I have a lot of friends who have seen me growing as a person for a long time, and time again, they've shown that they're there to support me. So I do a lot to try and really honor that support and do the best I can to really give back to them. For a salary for this job, ideally it would be $15 an hour, but I'm willing to change that, to negotiate that, because this really is an amazing opportunity. It's something that I would love to be a part of, and so, $15 is what I would love, but, I'm not sure what your ideas are, if it's more, if it's less. That's something I'd be willing to talk to you about and see really what you think is the best for this job. I'd be willing to start in June. That this is a summer internship, and so I'll be able to take off the summer to do it. But if you need me to come up a little earlier, stay a little later, just let me know and I'll see what I can do to switch around my schedule. So I have a couple questions for you. One is, what are more specific duties for this job? I know that I'll be helping out, be a teacher's assistant, but I'd love to know more specifically, is it just going to be getting coffee? Is it going to be grading things? Is it going to be actually helping out with lesson plans? What is this really going to entail? My second question is, when can I expect to hear back from you? I hope it's soon. It was great talking to you. Thank you for meeting with me today.